enlightening journey. Now, I heartily welcome and invite all our esteemed dignitaries onto the stage. As we begin this ceremony, I invite Professor CN Krishnan Sir, Padma Shri Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala Sir, Professor Pennatur Gautam Sir, Dr. CN Parameswaran Sir, Professor Vaidehi Vijay Kumar Ma'am, along with our other dignitaries, to kindly grace the stage and light the lamp. Just as the lamp lights up everything around it, may this event also illuminate our minds. With this note, I now request our HOD, Dr. P.T.V. Bhuvaneshwari Ma'am, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good afternoon to everybody. distinguished people. So it's a very long profile I've got, but the time given to me is very small. So I'll try to squeeze with that. Because we have amidst with us very renowned people are sitting here. So let's go ahead. So I welcome all of you to this Professor CN Endowment launch. So this campus electronics department, we are very proud to have Sir as our professor. He has taken a different scale, that is, he has been our head of the department, then he had been our director, AUKBC. Apart from that, he is the supervisor. So my supervisor is sitting here, Dr. V. Vaidegi ma'am. Supervisor of the supervisor is Dr. CN Krishnan. So in that way, I have a personal connect, I feel. This is, I am very much, my pleasure to introduce about the chief guest here. I'll straight away go to that. So registrar actually gave a concern to come, but because of his other alma matters, he has not turned up today. So in absentia, I welcome the registrar at our university. There are the dean, Dr. K. Ravichandran sir, MIT campus, and the other dignitaries who are sitting off the stage. And coming to our keynote speaker, Professor. So he is Padma Shri Professor Ashok Junjunwala sir. Actually, when I saw yesterday's profile, it was I could not complete the profile. It's very lengthy profile. That means so much achievement sir has done, which I request all the students to go to Wikipedia and look through, so that will really motivate you all. So for that, few points I could tell is, sir is from IIT Madras, professor of IIT Madras, and sir has initiated this research park in IIT. He is an instrumental person in initiating the research park in IIT. Sir has brought up more than 100 industrial collaborators as well as incubators, startups, all that. And he has also served as the president of IIT Madras Research Park, chairman of International Institute of Information Technology, Hyderabad. Sir has received several awards. As I said, he is already a Padma Shri, as I said. Apart from that, sir has, and that is the Padma Shri is the 4th highest civilian award. So we require a round of applause. Apart from that, sir is also is a recipient of Vikram Sarabhai Research Award, Dronacharya Award, and from USA he has taken Silicon India Leadership Award. And we are very much honored to welcome you, sir. And we take the second dignitary here, that is Professor Pennadur Gautam sir. He is a distinguished academician and researcher. So he is from Anna University. So he has come back to the parent institution. So sir has been the director for AUKBC. Sir has been the head of the department for biotechnology at Anna University. Been a faculty chairperson for technology, as well as due to, and he has also won several awards. To name few, sir has got UGC CSR scholarship for doctoral research in 1983, UGC BSR one-time grant from in 2012, as well as Indian National Science Academy Teachers Award in 2012. I'm just giving only a few glimpses because of lack of time. And next we have, as I said, my guide, Professor Vaidegi Vijay Kumar. So she is our own professor, electronics professor. And Madam, after the tenure here, she has served as a professor of eminence in VIT Vellore, then VIT Chennai, and then she has been former Vice Chancellor for Mother Teresa University, Women's University, put up in Kodaikanal. And Madam has played a significant role, so as I said, publications, the paper, the research publication, as well as the kind of project she has done, everything can be seen from the website. It is also available. And Madam has taken several administrative role also as head of the electronics department, instrumentation, there is information technology department, computer technology, then computer center, as well as she has also served as a director for EUPDC. Okay, and she has won academic icon excellence award in the year 2020 from Empowering Women in IT. As also Srimati Sushma Swaraj Sri Shakti Shaman Award in 2020. And next we have our the beautiful coordinator with us, Dr. D. Divya Madam. Vidya Madam, she is also our own faculty, and but she has become an industrial person. So Dr. D. Vidya Madam has become an industrial person, and she also have a very good association with the department, guiding our students, that is reviewing the projects, all that. So we had a lot of occasions to share with Madam, and she is the single point of contact for this event to happen. So she deserves a round of applause. And then we have always Meeta. Meeta is always with the electronics department as well as other departments of this campus. So Mr. B. Sethilnathan sir, President Meeta. So he's been always supporting the growth of MIT in all the verticals. I wonder how he's managing his time. So he's managing his time multiple activities. So thank you, sir. Thanks for gracing this occasion. And we have a very strict officer who is Rear Admiral. Yesterday only I saw his profile. So Rear Admiral V. Mohandas sir, who is a recipient of AVSM medal. That is nothing but for distinguished service. He has taken from the President of India, Honorable President of India. So we have a WhatsApp group for this. So you keep giving us the instruction very, what I can say. We have to immediately respond to that. So that is a very great kind of association we have got. I'm happy to see you, sir, today in person. Welcome you, sir. And next we have our the hero of today's function. It's none other than Dr. CN Krishnan sir. So, and we also have his accompanied by Dr. CN Parameshwaran, his brother, and Dr. G. Shivaramakrishnan. So they are going to talk about this. They are going to share their memories about the family and the friend circle, how sir is. And then we have Madhavan sir. I think he has not come today. Right, Madhavan sir. So he is again, I'm not remembering the names. Only very small association we have. Okay, so kindly excuse me. So Mr. S. Madhavan sir, so yesterday also we had a meeting. So last minute meetings, the one person is sitting there. So last minute meeting we had to fine tune everything. So they have been so enthusiastically coming forward and making things to happen in the right way. So welcome all of you. And finally, about the hero, as I said, Professor CN Krishnan sir, shortly called as CNK, has been an integral part of MIT and Anna University, shaping research and innovation for decades. So I think the AV will give you a lot of information. Those who miss the AV will definitely forward so that you can get his legacy, how he had been and how he is. And we can say, so to give a short profile for the benefit of our students. So sir has completed BTech from IIT Madras, MTech and PhD from IIT Kanpur. So I think there one key person sitting down, the Padma Shri is sitting down. I think they would have got an association there, I believe. Maybe they'll be sharing much about that. So he joined the Department of Electronics Engineering in 1977. He served as Director of School of Instrumentation Electronics and has been driving force behind numerous R&D projects in radar tracking, satellite communications, spectrum, GPRS, and FOSS, that is free open source software application. This pioneering work has put the Department of Electronics Engineering in MIT on the national map, making it known to funding agencies and research institutions across India. So one of his most remarkable contribution is the micro satellite project, which he conceived and initiated in collaboration with ISRO along with Professor Rajam Nagappa. So this visionary project eventually led to Anna University launching the first university satellite in India. And its contribution to research, mentorship, technological advancement continue to inspire the generations of students and faculty members. So this endowment is a heartfelt tribute from all those lives you have touched, sir. So your dedication, guidance, and passion for education have led to the lasting impact on all of us. We are truly privileged to have with us a distinguished gathering of academicians. I welcome all the faculties from MIT of different departments, as well as students and alumni from various places you have come. And we are also aware that this telecasting is happening in live streaming. I don't know how many of you are joining over here. So once again I welcome all of you, not taking much time. I welcome all of you. Hope you will have a very memorable event on this and you carry some good memories. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome. Now I request Dr. D. Vidya, ma'am, Director BNY, to brief about the endowment.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity. A privilege to introduce the objectives of Prof. CN Krishnan Endowment from dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, the students. Prof. CN Krishnan Endowment, this is initiated and fully supported by the alumni of MIT, mostly these two alumni from the electronics engineering department. Professor CNK, as is fondly, respectfully, and I also should say fearfully referred to, is a legendary figure. I think all of us will agree. Legendary figure at MIT, a deep-seated researcher, an ingrained patriot and philanthropist, and to us all a revered teacher. I'm sure each of these traits of Professor CNK would be referred to by the keynote speaker as well as the subsequent speakers. It's but natural that the endowment is set up to enthuse, inspire, and facilitate the students and faculty of MIT in the spirit with which Professor CNK had served the department for more than 40 years and the university and still serving. Endowment has been created following the university norms with no financial commitment or liability to the university, fully supported, as I said, by the alumni of of MIT. The fund would foster research, provisioning research and teaching awards for faculty members of the electronics engineering department, and if there is a heterogeneous efforts by combined with the electronics department by other departments, that would also be supported, and student awards for research work and organizing guest lectures in the emerging fields. The endowment would be advised by a 5-member committee, the HOD of the Electronics Engineering Department, Dr. Arya Rajalakshmi Krishnan, daughter of Professor CNK, Ramesh from the 34th batch, Madhavan from the 35th batch, both students of Professor CNK, and me, Vidya, a student and colleague. The endowment committee would come up with the criteria for selecting the awardees, keeping the realities of the department in mind. All faculty and student members present here, please take note of the objectives of this endowment: research and development in the field of electronics and information technology. Requesting all of you to aim for the award. The motivation would, I'm sure, take the research quotient of the department to a much greater level, higher level, and it is highly coveted to receive an award from Professor CN Krishnan and also an award in his name. So I request all the students to take note of the objectives of this endowment and strive to get this award in the next year. And I wish to end this recounting something that happened to some of the students. One of the students wanted me to talk about it here. Actually, in one of his classes, he had given an assignment to design a microwave communication system, and one of the groups got the assignment of designing the receiver. And he had given all these specifications, the frequency range, radiation pattern, everything was given, the specifications were given, and the group was asked to come to the board and explain. And one of the group members, her name is Swarupa, she took the responsibility. She wrote some complex equations there and he asked her to derive the whole thing. She derived it, and at the end of the day, the height of the tower came to around 14 kilometers. So then actually she
University, Mother Teresa University, Professor Vaidegi Kumar, MITA President Sandalnathan, former MITA President, and the 34th and 35th batch alumni of MIT, Mr. Madhavan, Mr. Das, and the coordinator of this total endowment, Dr. Vidya, head of the department, Dr. Bhuvaneshwari, former head of the department, Mr. Meghanathan, all alumni, family members of Professor Krishnan sir, and my dear student friends, and members also from AAKVC, and professors from CET campus, and our 35th batch alumnus Hema Gopalan, and all my dear student friends, a very good afternoon to one and all. I'm so happy and to note that the Department of Electronics Engineering has come forward, coordinated with all the alumni to bring the endowment launch of Dr. Professor CN Krishnan. So it's very indeed at the right time. I think the batch, 34th and the 35th batch has come forward and to launch the endowment today on this great day. Professor Krishnan, we have a lot of association from 1996 onwards. So I have seen him as a great, knowledgeable professor, and subjects like a lot of electronic circuits, microelectronics, EMF theory. Like when I hear from the students, they used to say the kind of knowledge, the teaching level, which you need some prerequisites to follow. Otherwise, you are out there thrown away. So that is the expectation he has looking for the students, and he has taught in such a way, and most of the students are inspired. You ask any of the electronics alumni, each one will have his own history, own story, some memorable story will be there. I hope everyone say at least one incident with the Professor CN Krishnan. Such a wonderful teacher, and it's an act and right. The alumni come forward to host an endowment. Thanks to all the alumni, especially at this function. And today we have Professor Ashok Junjunwala, a great professor today at IIT Research Park. You can witness today all because of his own skill. He understood there is an ecosystem where the academics and the industry has to bring together at one head and to develop the R&D activities in the industry. So we have the right person here to talk about our Professor Krishnan. And Professor Gautam is a very, very easily approachable, a strong man in the biotechnology, and he was associated with as a director of AAKPC. So my interaction with the AAKPC when Professor CN Krishnan as a founder, with the support of our alumni, KB Chandrasekhar. So it's really when Professor was asking, because he is interested, he has done a lot of DST projects and the Ministry of Electronics projects. So when research projects he is approaching, he approached Professor, our alumni, KB Chandrasekhar. So that's the first initiation how AAKV Center was formed. It is because of Professor CN Krishnan, we have AAKV Center at MIT. None other than. So that's a real model. It started long back. So I should really thank Professor CN Krishnan for his great inspiring to bring AAKPC Center. And Professor Gautam, sir, we used to have a lot of association because most of the purchase committee and the selection committee, I used to be one of the members in AAKPC. So we have often meet with the Professor Krishnan and Professor Nagarajan, and then the directors, and also with the Professor Gautam sir. So he's a very fantastic man in the area of biotechnology, and in DBT, you can't miss his name. In any of the selection forum or the project selection, yes, Professor Gautam sir is such a knowledgeable person. So I'm so happy MITA has come forward to support this event, and as said by the Professor Vidya, the norms have been fixed, and I request the students of the electronics department to look for the projects, awards, or scholarships, and so that this endowment will have a great weightage every year. And the very important thing which I want to say is he also started a foundation trust, Rajalakshmi Foundation. So under this, he is doing one of the extreme wonderful work where he support all the government high school school children, and around every year he gives training to around 120 students. He gives a training to the government nearby schools, and he supports a lot to them. And I really inspired to see him when he interacts with the students with a team of founder members. Really impressed, and our boys also are given some sort of a scholarship, so that the students from the hostel also will teach the students. So all this process will go through certain norms, and through the norms it's clearly being defined, and accordingly it's being selected, and the students are from the hostel. So in a way he's supporting the hostels also, I would say, at this great junction. Around 10 people are benefiting from his trust. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So with these few words and not making much time, I wish this endowment today launch will have a great impact on the MIT campus and also the department, and in future a lot of new things will come through this lecture, and every year. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your informative address. Next, let us welcome the President, MITA, Mr. B. Senthilnagan, sir, to address the gathering.
Beloved professors, CNK, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, very good afternoon to all of you. I am very happy to be here on this occasion where our beloved professors' endowment is getting kick-started. I was a student of this institute from 1980 to 83. Those days, we were fascinated by CNK's language and style of delivery. That is the first thing it will strike. There are two sets of students in CNK class. It's always binary, no gray area. The students who understood everything and get fascinated by his teaching, and for other students it is all Greek and Latin. And we learned the art of meditation in his class. Staying awake, keeping your eyes wide open, and your mind will keep wandering about Casino Theatre, Chepauk Stadium, etc. But the best students of our batch or our contemporaries were all vying one with each other to become his project mates. That means the best students of every year will always choose Professor CNK as a project mentor. And I am very proud to say that most of them are top-class academicians in various institutes or top-class scientists in various companies. That is the credit of him. Professor CNK, I had a second stint from 2000 onwards to AU KBC Center. KB Chandrasekhar is my batchmate and very close friend. In 99, when he was awarded, he made all his company people to become millionaire in US, and he was called the pride of US by President Bill Clinton. Professor KBN invited him to MIT. When he came here, he said, KBC, why don't you do something for the institute? So obviously the go-to man was Professor CNK, and they were very clear that Those days, instituting a chair is around 5 lakhs or so. Today it has become 10. They were very clear that we will not be happy only with instituting a chair. CNK had a great vision. He wanted something like Stanford Research Center to be developed. And he thought about innovation center, incubation center, those days when those words are all not known to many people. And Chandra focused on the entrepreneurship, on the IP rights and all those things. So they started this in 99, 2000. And I would say it's how difficult it is to start a private-public partnership in a state-run university. All IITs can claim, and with their name tag they can get a lot of things, whereas Anna University, MIT is very tough. It is because of Dr. CNK's reputation and his contacts. A lot of people join AU KBC Center in the initial stage. The whole credit goes to him. KBC always says, AU KBC is CNK's baby. But with pride we used to tell in every forum. Today Anna University officials in every forum claim that AU KBC is a showcase piece for them. That is all thanks to, and credit goes to Professor CNK. They started with internet and wireless telephony, then biotechnology, then NLP. Today we are happy to see a lot of patents, IP rights getting created in the AU KBC Center. From the Mita side, we have been working together. He always used to say, Senthil, it's not enough. You just give scholarship alone to the students. Mita gives a lot of scholarship. He always encourages technology, research, and inquisitiveness. So only based on the discussion we had with him, Mita has instituted the Eminent Professor Award, which we have been giving year after year. I am very happy now. This endowment is going to give credit to all the students and the faculty members of MIT who get the norms fulfilled. So it's always a pleasure to receive the award. I request all the students and the faculty members to aim for the award given by Professor CNK, who is one of the renowned legends in his field. I wish the students and the faculty members all the best to go for it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I'm honored to invite Rear Admiral Mr. V. Mohandas, sir, Aviation, VSN, for the felicitation address.
Dr. CN Krishnan, professors, professor department, family members of Professor Krishnan, and my dear students, very good afternoon to everybody. Here, I'm really excited to be part of the function, I would say rather than the family function. We are waiting for this day for the past almost 6 months or so. And today we are indeed very, very happy. And we have juniors and seniors and my colleagues all assembled over here. It's indeed a pleasure and privilege for me to stand in front of you as we gathered here to honor an extraordinary individual, Professor CN Krishnan, we fondly call him as CNK. This function or launching of this endowment fund, not to tribute for his extraordinary contribution or amazing contribution, but also to take his vision forward and to take his enduring legacy forward across the students and their faculty community. CNK, sir, taken 2 subjects for us, electromagnetic theory and semiconductor devices. And both subjects, now I realize, whenever he talks anything, he talks a research-oriented way, he takes the classes, because of which you could not understand, of course, because we look at something different theoretical only. But he talks only mathematical equations and taken subject totally reverse in the research-oriented way. And you get 2 out of 25, you are lucky man. That's the way he deals with the subjects. And as Sendil said, President Jamai Mita, we look at only the way he dressed. Very, very smartly dressed, impeccably turned up. And right from the bottom to top to the bottom, we look at him, admire the way he dressed. And of course, stylish man. It talks a totally different style actually. So the class, we look at him and admire him, and he's a role model for many of us actually. We look at him, oh, okay, we want to become CNK one day. And even you go back to the mess, go and stand in front of the mirror, oh, you cannot be a CNK, no way. And saga continues day after day. And believe me, there'll be you can't become CNK, I can't become CNK. There's only one CNK, he's there, nobody else actually. And that's the model. Really, that's what I could say. When we are the part of MIT, we could admire his capabilities and capacity. I joined University of Science, Bangalore in 1991 for my PG. My professors asked me, Professor Sonde, specifically, used to be, now is no more, sorry. Professor Sonde and Professor Anant Kumar, they asked me, who are your professors in MIT? And when I said Dr. CNK, that whole thing is went in different tangent. I became key member of the entire institution. And they give a lot of responsibility, not because of me, because of my professor and the institution where I used to belong actually. This is my practical experience. Okay. All right. Now, Professor CNK, impact, he created a huge impact on education, the technology, and the social empowerment. Now, in fact, when last year we came here, myself, a couple of my friends, we happened to meet Dr. Vidya Madam during our MIT 70th anniversary. And she was mentioned about this endowment fund. And we got it in a state of mind. All our friends are here, we got it going. We said, no, let's make it happen now, this year, that's it. And along with that, within no time, we stopped her in the month of June, August, we gathered a momentum, we made a group, talked to informally, formally, officially, unofficially, talked to all my friends, juniors, seniors. Momentum started. We said before Diwali we had to achieve our target. And we had a few anchors of the thing. We had Mr. Madhavan here, and this is my batchmate, 35th of electronics, and we have our senior, Mr. Surya Ramesh, 34th, Ramesh, can you please get up? Yeah, 34th of electronics, and Keshadri from 25th of batch of aerospace department. Chesh, can you please get up again? Yeah. They were anchoring the whole thing. And the whole momentum driven, and from not only from Tamil Nadu, across India, across the global actually. When he says Professor CNK, everyone says what I should do, tell me now. That everyone is ready to contribute the way in which is possible actually. That's the way. Do not believe. We targeted something, and within 3 months' time, we exceeded our expectation and hit the target. From then, we are, requesting our dean and the head of the department, then head of the department of each department, and the registrar through the dean to make this happen actually. All happened, and we are waiting for the DA to come. In fact, we fixed the date with the head of the HOD of electronics and Dr. Vidya Madam, and make this happen. And I'm very, very happy, personally, very, very happy, and I should contribute and appreciate and acknowledge the effort put on by all my postmates, my juniors, my seniors, everyone present here, everyone present across the globe who are watching this, talk in the live telecast as of now. Right. As a student of CNK, I should express my deepest gratitude to you, sir. I learned a lot from you. Thank you very much for inspiring me and thousands of students like me, inspiring and molded their minds and instill them the inspiration and ethics and moral. The endowment fund is going to be I will act as a beacon for hundreds of thousands of students and faculty in the years to come, and inspire them, motivate them to innovate and research like what he did. CNK not only contributed for the institution in India, his contribution for this entire country, and his contribution for microstrategy, for example, is on a global level I'm talking about actually. So with that, I'm sure this endowment fund, we see a light and we see inspire thousands of faculty and students, and everyone to get into the path of research and innovation, and to ensure that our growth of the country and to become a superpower nation in probably by 2045. That is the next 100th year of our independence. Okay. With that, thank you very much. Jai Hind, and all the best very much for everybody. Jai Hind.
Actually, I was only the catalyst, the main chemicals in this concoction where Ramesh, Mohandas and Madhavan, they really bugged me into doing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your heartfelt and inspirational words. Now, I invite former head of the department, Dr. D. Meghanathan, sir, to present a memento as a token of respect to Professor CN Krishnan, sir. On behalf of AUKBC, I would like to invite AUKBC team to present a bouquet to Professor CN Krishnan, sir. I invite Dean MIT Campus, Professor K. Ravichandran, sir, to felicitate Padma Shri Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala, sir. I invite President MITA, Mr. D. Senthilnathan, sir, to felicitate Professor Penatur Gautam, sir. I invite Head of the Department, Professor P.T.V. Bhuvaneshwari, ma'am, to present a memento as a token of respect to Professor Vaidehi Vijay Kumar, ma'am. I invite Professor Dr. Prakash, sir, to felicitate Dr. D. Vidya, ma'am, Dr. D, Director BNY. I now invite Rear Admiral, recipient of AVSM VSM V. Mohandas, sir, to present a memento as a token of love to Dr. CN Parameswaran, sir. I invite Alumni Representative 35th Batch, Mr. S. Madhavan Sir, to felicitate as a token of love to Dr. Sivaramakrishnan Sir. Now I would like to invite Padma Shri Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala Sir, former President of IIT Madras Research Park.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Probably, other than his family, I am the one who knows Krishnan the longest. I remember meeting him in 1973 at IIT Kanpur. I was a student and he was doing his PhD. He was also a teaching assistant. He did not teach my class, but he taught another section. But I got to know him. But initially I got to know him not as a teacher or as a technologist, but as a humanist. A person who was extremely concerned about everyone around. A person, a person who was extremely concerned about everyone around. When he saw injustice to any section of the people, he will stand up. And the second thing that I very quickly learned from him was about our country, about our nation. Why such a large number of people have been left behind in this development race. This is something that I learned from him and his friends in IIT Kanpur itself. And to some extent it inspired me, they inspired me, Krishnan and his friends, to work for the country. To him, the value, the Gandhian value that the last person matters. And if you have left behind someone, something is wrong. This is what he was able to convey. So therefore, after I graduated, I was an undergraduate student. After I graduated, I went outside the country for my master's PhD. One of the reasons I came back was people like him who had inspired me that one must work for the country, one must work for the society. And Chennai, at that time Madras, was very unknown to me. I practically knew no one. I knew two people here. One is Mukundan, sitting out here, and one is CN Krishnan. And for me, they were my friends, mentors, my guide when I came here. And it is they who helped me settle here, make Madras and later Chennai my home. And it is here that I have been with Krishnan for last 45 years. He has been very close friend at a personal level, caring for every aspect of our lives. This is one thing that you find about him. I'm sure there are others out here. I know certainly Vaidehi and Krishnan, Vaidehi and Vidya, who are two of his very early students, and I started interacting. There is care for every. When he got to know a person, it was not just a relationship of science, technology, or learning. It is all aspects of your life. He touched every aspect of life, and he continues to do that. Two things again, very important. First thing is, being here at MIT, part of Anna University, he clearly kind of taught people like me that there is something wrong when the way IIT is projected, and IIT is where I was a professor, as the lead institute in the country. That university has far many more students, touch the lives of many more students, and if the society and the nation has to be built, it has to be built by students of IIT as well as of Anna University as well as of all other universities. He, right from day one, he was able to get us to understand that if there is any difference between the faculty and the students, between institutes like Anna University and IIT, it is primarily because of the large amount of money that the central government provides and does not provide to universities like Anna University. Otherwise, there is really not much of a difference. When private engineering colleges were set up, and it was extremely important because in 80s, there were only about 100 engineering colleges in the country, and there were only about 20,000 students graduating every year. A large number of youngsters could not, therefore, even if they wanted to become engineers, could not become engineers. And the setting up of private engineering colleges enabled education to reach a large section of people. And it is because universities like Anna University have played a role in getting about 1 million engineering students graduate every year. If it was left to IITs, it would have been very, very small numbers. And this is something that he emphasized and threw out and pointed out to all of us that only by getting all these institutes together, we will really be able to move the nation forward. Of course, about his teaching, about the impact that he left on the students, I don't have to speak. There are many here who will be able to speak. But I have met countless of his students doing extremely well and very, very proud of him. The way he not just taught them, but he nurtured them to become good human beings, capable human beings, and becoming a capable engineers. At the same time, the second role that I started with, that he played, from 1981 when I was here, he helped found an organization called PPST, Patriotic and People-Oriented Science and Technology. And very soon, Mukundan, myself, Bajaj, CN Krishnan, many others became part of that. And the focus here is how can our nation become stronger? How can our nation connect back to our own roots and not look up to the West all the time? Unfortunately, in our education, we were taught science and technology all comes from the West. And only when we copy them, only when we follow them, India will become advanced. People like CN Krishnan very clearly brought out that no, what the Western science and technology is doing to India is creating a very small section of elite, which can of course get whatever they want, but actually depriving a large section of Indian people of even a decent livelihood. The second thing that PTSD and CN Krishnan taught us was, and of course many others, I mean, we had a person named Dharampalji who actually put this very strongly forward, and that India had a very strong science and technology, had a very good flourishing and functioning society even before the British came. And it is the British who had destroyed us and then made us start looking up to them. And in doing so, we actually are creating a society which is highly divided, which benefits the few, but hurts most of the other people. It is this quest that CN Krishnan never left and kept on driving and continues to drive today, that we need an alternative. While excelling in whatever had to be done with science and technology, with modern science and technology, with, I'll say, Western science and technology, at the same time looking for the stronger base on which a new science and technology more connected to our tradition can actually be built. It is this true aspect of Krishna which has guided many of people like us forward, and basically created a belief in us that we just cannot give up. It is we who will have to stand up and make a difference to the society and the country. I don't want to speak much more. There are many others who will be speaking, but CN Krishnan has made a much larger contribution than just nurturing his immediate students. That's the point that I want to make. I think those of you who have been his students know what he has done. But those of us who have been his friends know that he has always led a much, much larger role and continues to do that even at an age close to 74, 75. I want to end by sort of saying that one often wonders where did he actually got all that. And I remember that in 1982, he took us to his village in Kerala, and we stayed at his home where his brothers and sister-in-laws nurtured us, kept us there for 2, 3, 4 days, talked to us, made us enjoy and really understand roots of Indian society. I think whatever he has got, it is because of the strong roots that his family has given him. And in turn, he has tried to pass it on to us. That's what I would say about CN Krishnan. I'm extremely happy that many of you have really created this endowment. He deserves far more, he deserves far bigger honor, and I'm extremely happy to join all of you in congratulating him. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for an inspiring and thoughtful keynote address. Now, I am honored to invite Professor Pennathur Gautam, sir, retired professor from the Department of Biotechnology, Anna University, to address the gathering. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, Professor CN Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala, Professor Ravi Chandran, and Professor Vidya, Professor Vaidehi. Thanks, Vidya, for inviting me, and also Professor PVR, and all his students and colleagues. It's my topic was on CNK and Anna University. So I met Professor CNK in 1999 when the AUKBC Research Center was inaugurated. I think the day was Bhumi Puja of the AUKDC Center, and suddenly KDC had decided that the KDC Center should also do something in life sciences, and Professor CNK called Professor Putala Jayaraman, and she was busy, so she asked me to go. He picked me up from his house, and then we went for the Bhumi Puja. So slowly this got built. So he had no great thing to life sciences, but then what he did was he got a great bunch of people to help him in life sciences. Dr. Jafar Ali and there's so many other people. It's still continuing, and what was very, very nice about him was that the kind of delineation of powers that he gave. Somebody said that he wrote the initial project for the microsatellite along with Nagappa, but it was his greatness that the one person that he chose was Professor P.V. Ramakrishna, and he was able to deliver it for the university. To be a director, in one sense, AUKBC was the first, as Professor Junjunwala said, was the first center to be operated on a purely PPP mode. Professor Kuntala Jayaraman had, of course, done it with the stick bio process, but this was a different kettle of fish. And because KBC was actively involved, and he would want the results yesterday, and Anna University was a very strict rule of the law university. So it did take some time for us to, for Anna University to proceed on a lot of other things. So he immediately, so it was a very tight do between the university and the KBC and KBC, and he did it very admirably. I think he would work something like 10, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and this was very. Know that this is a very, very difficult thing to do. I still believe that AUKBC PPP model was an idea before its time, and so it proceeded rather slowly because nobody had a clue on how to proceed on this, and this was something that he did, and I sincerely really admire him for that quality that he was able to do it with such a finesse. Also, the other thing was that Professor Junjunwala had said about PTSD, and suddenly in 2010 I got a letter from our director of planning saying that you are the director of PTSD and you have to settle some disputes. I had no clue about this, And what happened was that we went through some of the things that were available. In the end, we got everything sorted out. But what I really saw was that they actually arranged a whole for the artisans throughout India. He had arranged a small gallery at Anna University where they actually sold their wares. Some of them were beautiful. I wasn't there at the time, but the PPST first mission was held here at Alumni University, where a lot of artisans came and did this. Again, his great other achievement, his philosophy towards education itself was very different. He said that if as the population increases, if an educational model is not scalable, it's of no use to the public of India. And he said that IIT cannot do it. It's a very secluded kind of an institution, while Anna University had done such a great job. About 2.5 lakh students get out of Anna University every year. And so it's a very scalable model. And this has really done the state a great deal. If you look at the latest things that have come out, especially by Jeff taught that Alumni University, that PM is leading in so many of the parameters for education as well as health. He tries to do everything. Even now, he's so optimistic about higher education, which I'm not for some reason. Hopefully, I will get enthused at some point in time. And he continuously tries to see how education can be given to all the people that are there. And of course, in conclusion, I should say that still by his delineation of powers, now you can see when it first came, it's still continuing. The natural language processing is by Professor Shobha, the life sciences by Kavita, and of course, in the early days, Srikanth used to help AUKDC with the wireless projects. In the end, I would also like to mention that all this would not have been possible without the great kind of support that was given by his wife, Dr. Rajan. She was an exceptional person and a wonderful person, though I have only met her for the short time. Now I think the whole responsibility is on his daughter, Arya, to look after him. And I wish him all the best. And thank you.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, I am given the role of representing student. During 1978-80, I was a student, ME student in applied electronics, and 2 semesters, Professor taught me solid state electronics and neon circuits. In BG level also these subjects were. Then I was just and don't stick on to timing. If you are feeding mother, definitely you need flexible timing. That type of attitude has brought more ladies in AUKBC Research Center to adopt flexible timing. So that is very important. And the syllabus revision, whatever subject he used to teach, he say, no, that is not needed, bring in new subject. All the new topics in AUKBC Research Center, it is a brainchild of Professor Krishnan. So obviously in personal front, in technical knowledge and bringing the name and fame of MIT through Anna University was done by Professor Krishnan. I wish him all the best for his future endeavors. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. That was unmotivating. Thank you, ma'am, for your motivational words. Now, I extend my hearty welcome to Dr. CN Parameshwaran, sir, to address this august gathering.
Respected professors, academicians, ladies and gentlemen, greetings and cheers from the native village of Dr. Krishnan in Kerala across the Sahyadri mountains. At the almost at the tail end of this function, I shall try to make my speech as short as the tail of a dog, Krishnan's most beloved pet. I am supposed to speak something about Krishnan's family background. The original Taravadu, the Kudumbam, Cherukulangara Illam, in which we took our birth, is no more. It is now a nursing college. The members of the Taravadu are scattered in different places, and I am here supposed to talk a little about it. Our parents were very orthodox and almost illiterate. They did not approve of modern education and wanted us to follow the Vedic way. We refused to take the Vedic path, fought our way to modernism against their will and without their help. Krishnan also had to suffer this antagonism, but to a much lesser degree than his elders like us or like me. That was the legacy of our Taravadu. Our generation consisted of 6 males. I'm talking about our brothers, Krishnan brothers. The elder 3 are no more. So I am the eldest now, and Krishnan the youngest. Krishnan entered high school only after the death of our father. By that time, I had left for Bombay, then to Moscow for my medical studies. And by the time I came back from abroad, Krishnan had almost settled down in Chennai. So our meetings became rarer and rarer. And it may seem strange that the bond got stronger and stronger. I must mention here about 2 characteristics of Krishnan. He is the least money-minded of all us six brothers. He is the least money-minded of all the 6 brothers, and he is the most family-bonded man. One of our family members had stamped him a failure in life because he did not have a fat bank account. while I consider him the most successful one. This function standing witness to it. I agree that success and failure in life do not mean much. From the family point of view, I would like to call Krishnan the relationship man. He keeps excellent relationships with each and every member of the family, keeping constant contact with everyone, young and old, taking interest in their ups and downs, congratulating in their success and achievements, so on and so forth. Krishnan is a man of get-together meets. Wherever he goes, he organizes a get-together of family and friends. So everyone is happy at Krishnan's coming. The family suffered its most tragedy, it's the saddest tragedy in 2013. In 2013, at the sudden, unexpected and very untimely demise of Rajalakshmi, Krishnan's beloved wife. Rajesh was the most charming personality in the family. It was destiny's most cruelest blow to this happy-go-lucky man and to the family as a whole. Consoling Krishnan was beyond the family. Raji would have been the happiest soul today on this occasion of the most coveted honor being bestowed upon Krishnan. The family is extremely happy and proud today witnessing this August Muhurtam. I conclude by thanking the organizers for this function for asking me to deliver this short speech. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is really well said of him. Now, let us welcome Dr. G. Sivaramakrishnan, sir, to share his memories with us.
நண்பர்களே, தமிழில் கொஞ்சம் பேசலாம்னு தோன்றுது. நான் பெங்களூர்லேயே ஒரு 62 வருஷமாக இருக்கிறதுனால வீடை தவிர தமிழை வெளியில் எங்கேயும் அதிகமாக பேசுகிறதில்ல. கொஞ்சம் பயங்கூட. இன்றைக்கி இருக்கிற சுச்சுவேஷனில் எல்லா இடத்துலையும் உங்களுடைய ஐடென்டிட்டியை காமிக்கிறது கூட ஒரு கஷ்டத்துக்கு கொண்டு வரலாம். நம்மளை தமிழில் மேடையில் பேசுகிறதே ஒரு அரிதான ஒரு விஷயமாகிவிட்டது எனக்கு. அதனால் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சந்தர்ப்பம் கிடைக்கும்போது ஆசைக்காக 4 வார்த்தையாவது தமிழில் பேசலாம் அப்படின்னு. திருக்குறள் உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும். இங்கே தான் பஸ்ஸுகளெல்லாம் கூட திருக்குறளை போட்டு நிறைய பரப்பியிருக்காங்க. திருக்குறளை எல்லாரும் திருக்குறளை மேற்கோள் காட்டுவது உண்டு. திருக்குறளில் பல அதிகாரங்கள் ரொம்ப அற்புதமானவை. எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடித்த ஒரு அதிகாரம் நட்புங்கிற ஒரு அதிகாரம். அந்த நட்புங்கிற அதிகாரத்தில் ஒரு குறள், அதுவும் முக்கியமான குறள், எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடித்தது. CN கிருஷ்ணனுக்கு ரொம்ப பொருத்தமானது. உடுக்கை இழந்தவன் கை போல அங்கே இடுக்கண் வருமாம் நட்பு அப்படின்னு ஒன்று. இடுக்கண் களைவதாம் நட்பு. இந்த உடுக்கைங்கும்போது இந்த நம்ம வேட்டி சேலையை பற்றி சொல்கிறதாக எடுத்துக்கலாம். உடுக்கை எப்போ நீங்கள் வேட்டி விலகிறதோ உடனே கை, இட்ஸ் அ ரிஃப்ளெக்ஸ் ஆக்ஷன், உடனே போய் அதை அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு உங்களுக்கு இடுக்கண் வரும்போது உடனே வந்து உதவுவது தான் நட்பு. ஆங்கிலத்தில் எ ஃப்ரெண்ட் இன் நீட் இஸ் எ ஃப்ரெண்ட் இன் டீட் அப்படின்னு எல்லாம் நம்ம கேட்டிருக்கோம். அது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சப்பல் இருக்குது கம்பேர் டு திஸ். உடுக்கை இழந்தவன் கை போல அங்கே இந்த இடுக்கண் களைவதாம் நட்பு அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு உதாரணமாக நான் சிஎன் கிருஷ்ணனை பார்க்குறேன். எனக்கும் அவருக்கு இருக்கிற தொடர்பு எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸோ சயின்ஸ் டெக்னாலஜியோ அல்ல. நான் ஒரு சமூகவியல் ஆசிரியர். எனக்கும் சயின்ஸுக்கும் ரொம்ப தூரம். ஒரு விதத்தில் சயின்ஸுக்கு எதிரி என்று கூட எங்களை எல்லாம் சொல்லலாம். ஏன்னா சயின்ஸில் ஒன்றும் செய்ய முடியாமல் நாங்கள்லாம் சமூகவியலுக்கு போனவங்க, பயந்து போய். 1978 தான் நான் கிருஷ்ணனை பார்க்குறேன் முதல்ல. பிபிஎஸ்டிக்காக அல்ல, அதற்கு முன்னால் ஒரு அவதாரம் இருந்தது எனக்கு அவருக்கும். ஆசிரியர் கழகத்தை நான் வந்து கர்நாடகத்தில் ஐ வாஸ் லீடிங் தி ஆர்கனைசேஷன் தேர் as ஜெனரல் செக்ரட்டரி ஆஃப் தி ஸ்டேட் ஃபெடரேஷன். போராட்டங்கள், கொடி பிடிக்கிறது எல்லாம் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருந்தோம். டு என்ஷோர் ரெகுலர் சேலரி ஃபார் டீச்சர்ஸ். இப்போல்லாம் நிறைய எல்லாரும் ஆசிரியர்களை பார்த்து ஒரு மாதிரி, எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு மாதிரி கோபமே கூட இருக்குது. எல்லாருக்கும் 1 லட்சம்லாம் கொடுக்குறாங்களாம் காலேஜ் ப்ரொஃபஸர்களுக்கெல்லாம் அப்படின்னு. அந்த காலத்தில் 1970 கர்நாடகத்தில் மாத்திரமில்லை, எல்லா இடங்கள்லையும் மாதாந்திர சம்பளமே சரியாக வராது காலேஜுகளில். நாங்கள் அந்த காலத்தில் பெரிய போராட்டங்களெல்லாம் நடத்தி கவர்மெண்ட்டே ஆசிரியர்களுக்கான சம்பளத்தை எடுத்து கொடுக்கணுங்கிற மாதிரியான போராட்டங்கள் நடத்தினோம். டைரக்ட் பேமெண்ட் ஆஃப் சேலரிஸ் பை த கவர்மெண்ட் டு ஆல் ப்ரைவேட் காலேஜஸ். அந்த விதமான போராட்டங்கள் நாங்கள் நடத்தி கொண்டிருந்த அந்த காலத்தில் தான் நான் வந்து சென்னைக்கு அடிக்கடி வந்துக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன். ஐ வாஸ் exported from Karnataka to help organize teachers here. இங்கே அப்படி ஒன்றும் பெரிய அசோசியேஷன் இருக்கலை. 2-3 இருந்தது, பட் இட் வாஸ் நாட் வெரி ஸ்ட்ராங். There was an AUT, I think Professor Swaminathan was heading it. There were a number of other very good friends there. In that connection, I used to come here and participate in agitations here. Not get arrested, because that would cost me my job, but push people to get arrested here. We would push some 15,000, 20,000 teachers into prison for 15 days, make it as a big show. All that was going on in early part of 80s, till 80s. CN Krishnan was there, also helping in this. I don't know what was his interest then. We used to discuss a lot in those days about teachers, left unions and all that kind of thing. And we were a small group within the teachers' organizations in Madras and Chennai, trying to make it more militant and then achieve certain goals, etc. A small group, a ginger group, within the larger organization. He was one of them. I was invited to that. There were a couple of others whom I remember. One Professor Velayya. Then there was one Sai Subramaniam, I think. There was one Geeta who was not a teacher, but then who was an activist of sort. So we were the ginger group who planned a kind of militant struggle within the teachers' organization. And only one incident which I still remember, which I should narrate here. Very interesting. We wanted to create a lot of trouble during the agitation by capturing the director of collegiate education's office one day. So there was a large procession of teachers who would go and stand before the gate of the DCE and then keep shouting slogans. But then one small group of militants would enter the building without the knowledge of this police and others, and then wait for the DCE to arrive. The DCE would arrive and go to the room to take the seat. Then these 4 or 5 people will go and shout and throw some pamphlets and then push the DCE out of the chair and then occupy the chair and make. It would attract immediately attention of the police, and then there will be a lot of news. In those days there was no television coverage, but a lot of sensational news. I was not a part of that group that went inside, because that was too risky for me to come from Karnataka and do that here. CN Krishnan was not a part, but we made some young teachers do this job, and that was a very sensational moment in those days. Now, this was the first phase. Then suddenly he came one day when I was in Bangalore along with another friend from Indian Institute of Science, Professor A.G. Menon, and talked about PPST for the first time. He presented a small note and he said, "This is our opening statement. What is your thinking, etc." And we went on discussing it over the next 3, 4, 5 months. And the discussions would go on throughout the night sometime, starting from around 6 o'clock in the evening till 12 or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the night. Only 3 of us, and so only sometimes 2 of us, CNK and me, in my house in Jayanagar in Bangalore. He used to stay with his brother, who was close by, about a kilometer from my house. So after we discuss and get tired, I would leave him up to his house, walk along, and then stand there for some time and talk again, and then drag him again to my house. This would go on for 2, 3. He will say, "Why don't you come there?" Up to that. Then I will say, "Why don't you come up to my house?" And after getting so tired, we will go separate, part. This is how the association continued. So whatever I remember about him is his energy, his readiness to come and be a part of your life in everything. It may be a small thing, a big thing. It may be your marriage. I think all of us went to his marriage, which was celebrated in a small temple somewhere here, outskirts of Chennai. I still remember the pongal that day that was served. It was not the classic pongal, but slightly different, darkish. But it was, all that memories keep flooding me. And all that I remember about him always is this Thirukural, Idukkan Kalaivadam Nattu. And I think there is nothing greater than friendship in this world, in my view. Not even the relationship between the husband and wife. Because you can share certain things with a friend which you cannot even share with sometimes your wife or husband. And I value that, and that is why I thought I should make my presence here when he is being given a very small token of affection by his students and his colleagues. This endowment, this is nothing. What? He deserves much more. And I think he has got it by way of the affection and love and regard and respect that his colleagues and his friends and many of us who have not been part of his academic life, but who have shared our own thoughts and ideas with him all these 40, 45 years. I am so happy I am here. I shouldn't have missed it and therefore I made it a point to come here. I am very happy also to see this gathering. Thank you very much for being patient and
Thank you, sir, for sharing your close memories with Professor CN sir. Now, let's welcome Professor K. Kanagasabhabadi, sir, former Dean, MIT Campus, Department of Instrumentation Engineering, to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, I will take just 3 minutes. Professor CN Krishnan is my good friend, trusted friend for the last 45 years. You can easily imagine. I have shared many things with him, and similarly he has shared many things with me, and he has confidence on me, I have confidence on him. I am aware that many professors have contributed to the Department of Electronics Engineering. They are now contributing. But I will say, or I have got good regards for 2 professors. One Professor P.V.S. Sastry, many of you may not be knowing him. And the second one is Professor Krishnan. And Professor Sastry was an excellent teacher. At that time there was no much research going on. He was exemplary, very good teacher. You cannot imagine. Unfortunately, many students did not have an opportunity to listen to his lectures. Whereas Professor Krishnan was excelling in everything. He was a very good academician. He was doing very good research. He was doing very good sponsored research. I want to say, at one point of time, he was the only faculty member having sponsored research, not in the entire electronics department, in the entire MIT campus. So he has played a leading role. Today many people are having sponsored projects, and he was, I think, instrumental in motivating people to do sponsored research and bringing a lot of funds. Okay, and he has contributed a lot for the AUKBC. AUKBC would not have come to this stage without Professor Krishnan. I am aware right from scratch. Okay, and all the developments in AUKBC, and he has played a significant role. And even after retirement, he is doing a lot of good work. Many of you, I do not know whether you are aware that through his wife's name, Raji Foundation, for the school students, he is doing exemplary good work for all the government schools in and around Kurumta. I happen to be part of that, so I am aware of that. And he does not waste time even at this age. And he thinks of doing something, as Professor Gautam said, think of higher education. He used to write many articles, shares his idea with many people. And I am fortunate to have him as his good friend, and I wish him all the best, Professor CN Krishnan.
Thank you, sir, for your engaging words. Next, I would like to invite our alumni to share their experiences with Professor CN sir. Let us welcome our 34th batch alumnus, Mr. N. Srinivasa Rao, sir, to the dais.
Good afternoon, the esteemed faculty on the dais and off the dais, fellow alumni, distinguished guests, and dear students. It's a great pleasure to stand in front of you on behalf of the 34th batch, passed out in 1985, to profoundly thank Professor CN Krishnan, the faculty and the management of the MIT and the Anna University for graciously accepting our request to start an endowment fund in the name of our beloved Professor CN Krishnan. We are confident that this adds to the efforts of the institution to generate future leaders, innovators, and change makers through assistance in research, scholarships, and awards. We strongly request the students to make use of this opportunity and benefit, in the mutual interest. Many of the alumni here know Professor CN Krishnan has taught us, simplified us some of the toughest subjects we had in the curriculum. He imbibed in us the fundamentals of electromagnetic wave theory, the antennas, and analog devices, all that. I can narrate my personal case study, I would say. When I passed out in 1985, the fundamentals Professor has imbibed in us helped me to actually sit in the interview of ISRO, and believe me, I could answer all the questions that they have posed at me. Why? Because the fundamentals, what CNK taught us, were also the industry benchmark looking for the skills. As we roll back on our time here, we really cherish the memories of our late night study sessions, the good messes that we had, the food that gave us the energy to see through the courses that we had. We fondly recall our professors who taught us, the mentors who guided us, and the friends who were actually with us through the thick and thin of our times. At the same time, I deeply, want to appreciate our alma mater for giving us the foundation for success, a platform for growth, which when you will realize when you go out of the university and face the industry. The MIT, the words, gave us the entry, recognition, and foot in the door, to receive us with open arms, to contribute to the organization in the mutual interest. I really want to thank the alma mater for giving us the foundation of success and, the growth factor. So let us continue. I would request our alumni to continue the efforts of building a good future for our alma mater and the generation of students to come in the future. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Now, let us welcome our 35th batch alumnus, Mr. N. Kumar, sir, to share his experience.
Good afternoon. Namaskarams to all the professors and dignitaries in the dais. I am part of the 35th batch electronics group. So I have written down a few points in my notes. I'm not reading out from ChatGPT. Very proud and privileged to be here and happy to be here, part of this campus again after almost 1986. I finished my campus and back here again in the campus. Electromagnetic theory, it was the second semester subject I used to remember. It's the most feared subject. But I wouldn't say the most feared professor was CNK, but he was the most respected professor for all of us in the campus. And I want to tell Mr. Senthilnathan that we are proud to say that most of the 35th batch students we're on the brighter side of the caliber with Dr. CNK. I just want to reiterate that. His commitment to the students and MIT is unparalleled. He was a mentor, philosopher, and guide to all the students over the years. As most of you have seen, most of the speakers have been speaking about it. His contributions have been quite immense. We all know that he is from IIT Chennai and did his doctorate in Kanpur. So we associate brilliance with him, and he generally goes beyond the textbooks. Okay, and his classrooms is always intense. Okay, and I always used to, whenever he asked questions, whenever I knew the answer, he wouldn't ask me. Whenever I didn't know, he used to ask me exactly when I didn't know the answer. I don't know how he managed to do that, but every time, that was my experience with him in the classroom. He had a great fan following with the students, and if you do a survey over the last 50 years, and I'm sure he'll be one of the top in the campus, among the student community. He'll be the most popular professors, I would say. Mohandas mentioned about it. He had a swag about him. He was very articulative. He was very stylish. And not many people would know, I think Dr. Vidya ma'am had spoken about his sense of humor. I think even in the classroom, he had a sense of humor whenever his class was going on. I always wanted to attend his class again now, not as a student and with the examination fear, but at least without the fear, I can start understanding EMT much better, I would say. Thank you, Dr. CNK, for whatever you have done to all of us, to the student community, and to all of us in the 35th batch. And thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to put this together, the endowment fund under your leadership, under your name. Thank you once again, and thanks for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. That was really happy to hear from you. Next, let us welcome our 36th batch alumnus, Dr. Paneerselvam sir, to share his experience.
Respected CNK sir, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and the students and friends. So I should thank my senior Seshadri for giving me this opportunity. When he was asking me whether he would like to talk on behalf of 36th batch, I jumped. I just said yes. Because I thought that I had intensive collaboration discussions with Professor CNK, but when I came today, when I asked him, sir, do you remember me? Yeah. So I thought that may be wrong. My impression was wrong. But I would like to talk about, sir, the experience that I have had during my BTech days, and little bit, I will not take too much of a time. Sir was our project guide, and as Vidya madam said, fearful is the word that is attached with CNK sir, at least during the first phase. In the first phase, that what I mean is the BTech time, we used to just go, not in front of him, we used to duck and try to be away from him, because he will ask what happened to the project. The project title was microprocessor based plant position indicator. I don't know, sir, I'm sure you will not remember. But since I joined the Navy at that time, he said, why don't we get the money from the Navy for doing this project? So he had written a big the requirements, what are all the various devices that are needed, and then we went to the Navy. I had gone to one commander, Krishnamurthy, at that time, and tried. We tried our best, but though it was not successful, but I understood the plant position indicator. using 8085 and Zilog 80 were the microprocessors that we used at that time. Though it was not fully successful, but we understood, sir, all the basics that you had given. And as I mentioned initially, it was the fearful, but later I had once again had the fearful problem, because when I came for electrofocus, after joining Navy in between during the vacation, I came to MIT and the electrofocus was going on, and I thought, okay, let me meet Professor CNK in his cabin. And I went, he asked a lot of questions on the radars that we maintain in the Navy, and I couldn't answer. It was, once again it became fearful. But later, I'm proud that he used to sit in my sessions. I'm sure you will not agree with me. He called me to AUKBC, thanks to Dr. Srikanth. I had come here for 1 full week, and I used to take sessions on radar signal processing, the beamforming, etc., which of course, sir's basics that he had given in the DSP, digital signal processing, is the paper that he took, is the course that he took. The DSP, which I heard from some of the youngsters, is called degree stopping paper. Not during our time, but it was called degree stopping paper. But I did quite well. I understood whatever CNK sir mentioned taught us in the class. And when I joined Navy, immediately the first thing that we did was once again training, and DSP was there. I topped the course there in the Indian Navy. Thanks to you, sir. Not just that, even today, I use fast Fourier transforms. Thanks to sir, I got interested in the academia. In fact, I was so proud when he said, I would like to take you as my PhD student. I don't know whether you remember, sir, you said that, and then you also wrote a mail, a big mail to my director in DRDO saying that a Paneer Selvam should do PhD. He is so good, so let me take him as my student. And then he asked me to use that letter to get the sponsorship. But unfortunately, due to service exigencies, we couldn't do it. I did my PhD later under somebody in IIT Bombay. But all that had helped me, sir. Presently, I am involved in the radar signal processing. We design radars in Magna Electronics for the automotive domain. Thanks to you, sir. Even 2 days back, I was taking sessions in the signal processing, detection, estimation, etc. I would always remember all that you mentioned, sir. Thanks a lot. And also, I should thank Admiral Mohandas, sir, because he was the one who informed me of this endowment, and immediately I jumped. And my friends also, Vimalesan is there, Joseph Rajkumar is there. We all got into the endowment initiative. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir. All the very best.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your memorable experience. The best teachers don't need grand gestures. Their simplicity speaks louder than words. A good teacher is a master of simplification. These are some quotes said by wise men. Illustrating the same is our great professor, CN Krishnan sir, in whose warm will we have gathered here for the endowment lecture launch. Sir, I heartily welcome you to delight us with your words.
Thanks, right?
Vote of thanks.
Correct. I think that's what I'm going to do too. I'm here also to do a vote of thanks. You will, of course, do your thing separately, right? As I said, this is tough. There is a time issue, I'm aware of that. We already overshot time and many people have to go home. Almost 5. Yeah, so I don't know how to do that. Of course, I'm well, touched and moved and proud to hear what I've heard here. Yeah, sure. Thank you. And at times I'm grateful to all of you for everything. I mean, particularly the department which organizes this function and along the alumni and all my friends and colleagues, students who have come here. This has been a great occasion for me. I'm really to be proud about it. But I get the suspicion that whatever I'm hearing is not quite me. I look backward. Are you talking about somebody behind me or something? That is, I don't know. I can't see all that can be about me. I think it's about somebody whom you are imagining, and almost an avatar of me you created out of your imagination and generosity. And you describe that. It's really, very little part of that is really about me. That's what happens when you fall in love, incidentally, right? You start imagining all sorts of things about someone whom you are in love with. And, you wrap her around, him or her around all sorts of things. And then, of course, after some time, of course, the reality dawns, and that person doesn't look anymore what you thought that person is, etc. But of course, here it's reversed. I mean, ours was not, I think, lovers first sight, not far from it. It must have been fear and whatever else, I don't know. But over time, it seemed to have come to, I would sort of say, an exaggerated description of me, which I'm very happy to hear. But, I think very generous imagination has gone behind it. And I would accept all that. I don't have a problem with that. And thank you for all that, okay? Generally speaking, I'm not somebody who sort of feel keen about awards and rewards and so on. Not really. Not that people have been coming after me with awards and rewards. Not at all. I'm not in that space, in a sense. So to the extent that when some of the students approached me about 6-8 months back, saying that we are thinking of something, Senthilnathan, I remember, talked to me and said, we have this idea. I think I almost screamed at him, what's wrong with you? Oh, no way. I said, nothing you're going to do like that. I think then Vijay Sundararam also mentioned once. I said, no, man, you're not going to be doing anything like that. But then I think there are more persuasive people came into the picture. Vidya is here, and Madhavan, Ramesh, many people spoke to me again, and they asked me, what is your problem? Then I said, my problem is that it doesn't make any sense. Then they asked, is there some way you want it to be done? We will do like that. I said, now I really can't say no, Ami. So I said what I think should be done, and they were accepted all that. And, it was very stupid of me to react that way to a suggestion like that. I realized that later. I'm glad that sense prevailed, and I realized that it's a great honor that they are bestowing on me, and it'd be stupid of me not to say no, right? So thanks for putting that sense back into me, because for a teacher, I think this is the ultimate honor, respect, regard, recognition, right? So I shouldn't have let it go, and I'm glad, thanks to the persuasion of many of my friends and students, that I said sure. And so that is that part. My first reaction was probably very negative, but our students are very tenacious and pursued, and I'm glad it happened. Okay. Let me emphasize, for somebody like me who spent all my life as a teacher, there isn't any reward recognition bigger than this. This is what you get, right? it's like you are given an A+ grade, almost towards, the end of your life almost, you are graded A+. Then you're surprised, why am I graded A+? It's something similar to that. Right, and then actually I'm quite used to, being beneficiaries of my students. It's almost sort of, I take it for granted that, there are my students, if I want something, it'll happen. Of course, people talked about KB Chandrasekhar Research Center, which it is, it's a very large initiative involving alumni. In this case, Chandrasekhar, and people like others, Senthil Nathan, and so many people. So that was, it was talked about here, and it was a huge challenge, I think, Gautam, and so many people described that. I had no idea when we started that. Neither Chandrasekhar had what we are trying to do. And I'm glad we did that. We attempted that. It is still there. It's all what I can say. And a lot of my colleagues from AU KBC Center has kept it going, but it has huge challenges. But that's something I recall whenever I talk about students. I said, yeah, that I had students like that. And the other occasion again is, as it was mentioned, I started a foundation in the name of my wife, a charitable foundation. And the students were the first people who came forward with a very generous donation. That foundation is running on the donation from my old students, with their students too, right? So that way I'm sort of, nowadays what people call beneficiary. I'm a beneficiary of alumni, support, regard, and I'm glad about that. Again, for a teacher, that's what it all comes to, right? But then if you ask, what does it all signify? I was just talking to Ashok. What do this relationship between a teacher and the student signify? I think it's a bit of what one sees here now, last 2 hours, is something that has its roots in different places. In fact, one of my friends asked me, is this endowment something comparable to a Guru Dakshina? A Guru Dakshina is at the end of education what the student gives to a teacher. He asked me, is there something like that? I said, I don't quite know. Maybe the sentiments may have roots there. The sentiments behind this may be having roots in those traditions. And I don't know whether this can continue for long. I have my concerns on that because, okay, there's a water please there. But these sentiments belong to, I think, pre-internet, pre-social media times, where the teacher had 2 roles. One is, of course, teacher knows certain subjects, specializes, so you go to teacher to learn that. Second is that teacher influences you in so many other ways. You don't realize that. The influence teacher has on you, good as well as bad. It's interesting actually. For example, if you are a student, undergraduate student, you stay for 8 semesters, and if you take each semester, you have about 5 teachers. So it's something like 40 people you are looking at very intensely. And your life is being sort of molded and shaped and influenced by these people. So surely that will have a very strong impact on who you become. For both good and bad, let me put that way, okay? And for subject also, you had not too much of a choice. You had some books, but otherwise you depend on the teacher. And those books were also not written for our context, in that sense. So the teacher was very central to your life in both ways, in terms of influencing your, the person you are, and the subject-wise. Now, I think it's somewhat in that sense similar to your parents, the kind of influence you parents have, in a cumulative sense that you at a university also influences you. Because you say, oh yeah, I like this person, I don't like that person, I don't like, all of that. So finally you say, oh, these are things I like, these are things I don't like. Yeah? And that's how your character is formed. So, but I think what internet has done, first of all, is to, you don't need a teacher if I want to learn something. There are so many other ways I can learn. So teacher is no more the single seller of knowledge. And then the social media again took away the rest of it. That your models are no more the real people that you meet. They are some, fictional people whom you keep engaging with continuously. So I think something has happened to this relationship between teacher and student. And probably it's kind of breaking. Similar way, in a way, as the family relations to kind of be under stress. I don't know, for the teachers of current generation now, maybe to reflect on it, what is there something we can still do to, retain some part of that, where, I don't know, teachers today's teachers may have greater challenges, I can see that. For example, when I hear what all you're saying, it's not that I took great effort to be that way. It was just natural, and that was the environment. But today I think it's very, very different, the environment we operate in. So huge challenges I realize are faced by today's teachers, and we should need to be talking about it. I'm sorry, I know we are short of time, so we can't really talk more. But this is an issue, what's going on in the process in the university. What's going on? What can we do about it? Can it serve our people? Can it serve our nation? Because this bond is what everything is built on, the bond that you heard about. There are issues there, I'm sure we need to be talking about it. And yeah, I think I don't want to take much more time on this. A lot of people brought out. I'm sure many of my students didn't know about that part of me, which was not, seen in the classroom or the campus. I do have a very different life than many of you have seen. Some of my students, like Vidya, PVR, and so on, they knew about that part of me. So, in fact, that's a confession I must make now, that I don't think I have given everything I could have to my students or to my department or to my institute or to the university. I don't think so. I gave a fair bit, but the rest I had other engagements, other interests, other pursuits to which I gave. So in that sense, it's a confession I should make that while I extremely respect your feelings, I could have done more. I should have probably done more. But that's what I am, as you said, bundled offer. We all come as bundled offers. I think I wouldn't want to take more time. As I said, I'm very happy about all those who sort of put this function together, where lots of my old friends have come. I have two of my classmates, BTech classmates. Where are they? Sethuraman and Gopalakrishnan. Yeah, we were together in the BTech classmates. Yeah, IIT Madras. Sethuraman was the gold medalist. I don't know where I was, in electronics. Yeah, and then lots of other friends here. Bajaj is there, Mukundan, goes a long way. So it's not just my students only here. There are my colleagues, and I'm glad they're all here. And we should continue talking about it, what happens in universities, and so on and so forth. Right. Vidya, is there anything else that I should be? I'm okay? Yeah, time-wise? Right. So again, at the end of a lecture, what do you think I do normally those days? At the end of the lecture? Give an assignment. Yeah, that's what every lecture ends. Right? Here is an assignment. That is, I'm glad that this got inaugurated very well, extremely well. But then you have to see that this is held properly. Whatever you want to do about in the name of endowment, every year it has to be done. And please don't expect the HOD, he or she has enough work of their own. So, you have to make sure every year that's sort of done the way you want it to be done. Keep pursuing it. I know there's a committee which will do that. So that's an assignment that every year, you need to submit a good, report. Okay? Thanks everybody here and everybody there. It is a very touching moment for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are truly blessed to have hear your wise words. As we come to the end of this memorable event, I now request Mr. S. Madhavan, alumni representative from the 35th batch, to propose the vote of thanks. Welcome, sir.
Many people have played their part in this endowment initiative, and it's time to call out the names and say a big thank you to all of them. On behalf of the alumni, I want to thank Professor CNK first and foremost for very graciously accepting this endowment to be set up in his name. Though he had some reservations initially, I hope now he feels more confident that it's headed in the right direction. And we look forward to your ongoing guidance, support, blessings to keep up the momentum. Thank you, sir. I want to say a big thank you to Professor Ashok Junjunwala for accepting our invite to this function amidst his tight schedule and for delivering the keynote address. Big thank you to Professor Gautam for sharing his experience with Professor CNK. We are blessed by the presence of Dr. CN Parameshwaran, elder brother of Professor CNK, for traveling all the way from Thrissur to be with us to celebrate this great occasion. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot to Professor Sivaramakrishnan, GSRK as he is known, for his esteemed presence here and for sharing his experience with Professor CNK. Thanks a lot, sir. I want to thank all the family members of Professor CNK who are here today joining the celebration with us. Family, friends, his colleagues, his classmates, thank you to all of you. Thanks to Dr. Vaidehi Madam and Professor Kanakasabapati for sharing their experience with the Professor CNK and for their gracious presence here. I want to thank Dr. Prakash, Registrar of Anna University, for helping set up this endowment with the university and for making the approval process very smooth and fast. Please convey it to him. Thanks to Professor Ravichandran for his support to this endowment and for facilitating the process with the university. Thanks to Professor Bhuvaneshwari, HOD of Electronics Department, and Professor Meghanathan, the previous HOD, for their tremendous help and support throughout the process, without which it would not have been possible. Thanks to Mr. Senthil Nathan of MITA for their support and guidance as always. Thanks to Mr. Sharma of MITA for being here. Thanks to all the HODs of all the departments and faculty members of electronics and other departments who are here today. Thanks to Dr. Vidya and Professor Kannan for kickstarting this initiative and providing all the support and guidance right through to make sure everything was taken care of. We are here where we are today because of their initiative and support. I want to thank Dr. Divya for being the faculty anchor for this program. All the prep you see today, including the invites, AV, everything is her handiwork with her team. We used to nag her often for this, that, etc., but she never loses her cool. Always smiling and helpful. I want to thank Dr. Ram Prabhu for supporting this initiative as president of Electronics Engineering Association. I want to thank the MCs of this function for doing such a wonderful job this afternoon. Please give them a big round of applause. Thanks to Sesha, 35th batch Aero, who kind of played the neutral person, collecting, consolidating all the data, because we wanted to maintain the confidentiality of individual contributions, and Sesha played a big part in keeping that up. Finally, thanks to all the alumni who contributed, and special thanks to the ones who are here and here today and who are watching the webcast live. A big thank you to all of you for making this large endowment possible in such a short period of time. Please pardon me if I missed out anything, if I missed out anyone, even after this long list that is unintentional pronunciational mistake. Pardon me for that. Thanks, everyone. I just want to take 30 more seconds to mention the logistics for the rest of the evening. There is a photo session right after that, so please stay on. Sir, if you could just spend some more time with us. We can take photograph in small groups in whatever combination that you want to form. So post that photo session, we have high tea being served outside, so please stay on for that as well. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate all your presence here. Thank you. Yeah, I want to thank Srini for the photo today.
With that, we officially conclude this event. Now I request everyone to rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव शय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Now I request the students to enjoy the refreshments. The refreshments for students are arranged just outside this hall. Now I request our distinguished alumni, esteemed faculty members to occupy the stage for the photo session. I request our alumni, esteemed faculty members to occupy the stage for the photo session.
First staff members.